Well, hello there, everybody. It has. It's been a minute, has it not? It's been a while. You've not seen my face, my god awful ugly face in a while, and I thought I'd make you witness the true horror that is a 29-year-old man, but not really having a problem with anxiety anymore. Hi, hello. My name's Adam, Twitchy Tango, Twitchy if you want. That's what my clan fam and Nocturnal call me. And I have autism. Not just any autism, Asperger's. Asperger's. Get your Asperger's here. Yes, I think about that a lot, and it's still quite funny. Even when I was told it the first time at 9 years old, I laughed. I thought, Asperger's, what kind of crap is that? But yeah, I'm a 29-year-old man with autism, and I don't make it work at all. And I kind of just wanted to, let you guys know why I've been absent. Hi, anxiety and depression suck. A medicine that I've been on for many years that's helped me a lot just wasn't working anymore. And I've noticed it for quite some time. And now I'm on this medicine that makes me feel good. It makes me feel great. But let's backtrack several years. Let's discuss, I wanted to discuss where I came from to where I am now. I was born November 27th, 1993. I was born almost 4 months early. Complications at birth. I was a very different child growing up. I was highly receptive to things. I was writing at the time I was 4 years old. So before I was entered into education, I was writing. I was a writer. I even wrote a book 4 years out of my high school career and lost it. And since then, not been able to write again. But I can still remember the plot, so maybe I should go with it. Suffice to say, I was a very different child growing up. My parents knew there was something different about me. They knew it was autism. The thing with doctors in the late 90s, early 2000s in Alabama, they weren't willing to entertain the notion that people had autism. We haven't come that far in 20 years, less than 20 years. No, it's been we haven't really come that far in 20 plus years. So I'm not holding out hope for anything else. Doctors would rather give the child Ritalin and call it a day because that's all they needed to do, the bare minimum to get that paycheck. Uh, that's what my doctor did. He told my parents he's just acting out. Give him Ritalin, he'll be fine, and he won't do this anymore. Ritalin has that thing where it does one or two things. One or two things. You either have an absurd amount of energy and you go crazy, or two, you're absolutely a zombie. For me, I was the latter. I was catatonic. I wasn't receptive to anything. And my parents realized that just wasn't working. So throughout the years, as I went into school, we tried our best to get me on medication that would fit to me. And it never worked out. So several years into my elementary career, something crazy happened. Picture you, if you will, you're in fifth grade, your history class, your fifth grade teacher is teaching history class, and you're all chatting with your friends, having a good time. And then you hear one of your fellow students just having the worst time of his life. That child was me. I was having a mental psychotic breakdown. I was screaming. I was crying. I was saying, "Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Please don't look at me." And I'm going to have, just give you an idea of what I did. I had so much adrenaline pumping in my 9-year-old body that I'm looking at the screen, but not at you. I have a tendency to veer off course. And I ripped a 2.5, 3 inch MacArthur Hill history book in two. Here's a little bit of info about me. The only change between 9-year-old me and almost 30-year-old me is I've gotten taller and a little bigger in the waistline, but that's about it. Honestly, I don't even look that. I can't say I've gained weight. I look like a toothpick still. It's gonna just put it on screen somewhere. It might be superimposed on my face to give you an idea what kind of book my 9-year-old self tore into. And that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I was diagnosed finally. I was given to someone who wasn't just going to pump me full of medication and call it a day, because the doctor that would come into my life and work with me for a good 6-7 years cared about our patients, whether they had autism as an adult or autism as a child. Many people go many years without getting diagnosed, just like my buddy, a sticker for trying, God love him. He just got diagnosed with autism very recently. We're autistic buddies. He's scared. And she was ahead in her field. She was the best at what she did because she wasn't just trying to get a paycheck. She wanted to understand how autistic children and their minds function, and she was good at it. She worked on me for many years. I went to the hospital after that mental breakdown so she could get me in a environment that wasn't, as you could say, contaminated, where we had one-on-ones, where we could talk things out. And when we first were outside of the hospital in her office, she told my mom a few things like he may never hold a job. He may never have any meaningful relationships. He may never drive. But hey, it took me a while, but I got my license, I think, at 20, had my permit for like 3 years. I got it. I held a job. I can hold a job. The job I am now is great and I love it. And I met my wife, who I've been with for 11 years, 12 next year, 10, 12 years, 11 years, March 19th, and 9 years. 9 years on the 15th of June. I'm gonna die for that. And that's just what she believed I would never amount. And there are some kids out there who grow into adulthood and never do anything because they're never given the proper medication. They're never given the proper counseling, and they're just tossed to the wayside. There was one of my fellow classmates who was diagnosed with autism, and he was the exact polar opposite of me. He loved everybody. He wanted to be everybody's friend. God love him. Rest in peace, man. He was my polar opposite. We were both autistic. We were good friends growing up, and in high school we drifted away like so many people do. And may he rest in peace. But I always thought I needed to be more like Kurt and more trusting and kind to others. Unfortunately, he even more so, he still stayed that same person throughout the years. Me, I've only gotten worse. Twitter sucks. Social media is bad. Don't do it. If you're 13 years old and thinking of doing Twitter, don't. He's not good for your health. Believe me, I know. Now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So it took a good year. Actually, uh, after my sixth grade year, I had to go back into the hospital because my anxiety, much like how bad it was as a child, I was saying things as a child I shouldn't have been saying. But no child at 4 or 5 years old should be saying they want to hurt themselves. They don't want to live anymore. That was me. So my anxiety came back full force. And my anxiety hit like a truck. And it was terrible. And so I had to go back in to the hospital again. She did things over with me. We talked about it. I was in there a week and I was out. And she put me on this medication that would help my anxiety. And it helped me for years. It helped me function better. In fact, her last day with me, when it was like the end of my sophomore year, she told my mom that if he had come in as he was, I could never have diagnosed him with autism. You see, when someone goes out of the way to help you and make sure you're going to be okay, progress can be made. Like me, I can't say I'm still doing great, but I'm doing better than I have been, and I'm thankful for her. But this medication I've been on for years finally didn't have its effect the same way it did anymore. And I could tell it was really not working, especially in these last few months. Even before my daughter was born, I wasn't doing great. I was being more introverted. I was distancing myself from everyone. I wasn't engaging with conversation. My friends that I've met over the course of what feels like 2 years, I haven't really discussed with them and talked with them as much. And that has a lot to do with my anxiety just being a horrible thing that I just can't tolerate and hate. That's why I had to, do something for me. I had to be the one to say, this medication isn't working anymore and I need to do better. So I did, and I've been on it for 2 weeks, and I can tell you, as I'm recording this video, man, do I feel fantastic. I feel good. I feel full of energy. I feel like I can do anything, and it's great. Medication works, people. It works. Believe me, I'm functioning because of it. And that's just kind of me. That's where I'm at right now. My daughter's here and I'm in love with her. I can't wait to get home to her. At the end of the day, that's my main focus, is making sure I'm safe. I get home safe. I can spend time with my daughter and my wife, because man, I'm in love. She is the biggest blessing in my life. And I'm so blessed that the Lord above gave me that chance to be her father. You know, it's okay though. We all got to learn from our mistakes. We all have to do better. And I realized my medication wasn't doing what it needed to do anymore. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit of info on me. Why I've been completely distant, why I'm not uploaded consistently, is because I just haven't had the energy. And now I have so much energy. But where does that lead with uploads? Where does that lead with content? My goal is to try and not upload one a week, because the algorithm is funny. Because if you don't upload consistently, like the Puerto Rican god himself, Christopher Reagan, the fifth, YouTube will think you have died. And I can tell you, uh, the algorithm hit my Facebook page hard, and it's slowly gaining traction again. Consistency is key, people. Consistency is key. But what does that mean? My goal is to try and upload at least twice a week. Not this week, because I don't really have anything I'm working on at the moment, but hopefully I upload at the beginning of Monday, then I upload at the beginning of Friday. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I want to stream again. My goal is to try to stream 2 hours a day during weekday, and then 4 or 5 hours on the weekend. So we're just trying to roll with the flow and see what works and doesn't work. And that's kind of me. I'm back, pseudo back, like your ex that just won't leave you the hell alone, or your parents asking when you're going to have kids. In my own time, folks, in my own time. But that's it for me. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.